Sometimes college basketball gives you chaos. Sometimes it gives you heartbreak. And sometimes, it gives you a full slate of picks drenched in frustration, redemption, and the hunt for value. Welcome back to Beyond the Box Score, and today, we dive deep into the Monday, November 24, 2025 college basketball slate. But before we step into tomorrow's battles, we have to confront the carnage of the previous card. Because if you're going to walk this journey with me, you deserve honesty, accountability, and every ounce of insight that comes with navigating the wild world of college hoops. Let's start with the lone beam of light, the one winner. Quinnipiac. This team rolled into Pittsburgh and shredded what might be one of the worst squads in the ACC. The Bobcats didn't just cover plus 13.5, they didn't even need the points. They won straight up, 83-75, and if you had the guts to take the money line, you'd be swimming in plus 450 to plus 600 profit right now. They shot 57% from the field, 65% from deep, 11 of 17, and somehow managed to lose the rebound battle while tying turnovers. Didn't matter. Pittsburgh couldn't shoot. 44% from the field, 32% from deep, 60% from the stripe. That's not just bad, that's season-derailing bad. Pitt is now 4-3, but the reality is harsher. Their next 4 games: Ohio State, Texas A&M, Villanova, and another loss sprinkled in somewhere. Season over before December. Impressive in all the wrong ways. Then came the losses. First, Georgia plus 2.5. As soon as that game went to overtime, the writing was on the wall. Underdogs in overtime mix about as well as oil and fire. Clemson closed it out 97-94. The ending sequence. Brutal. Down 3 with 4 seconds left, and the inbound play sends a player backwards, away from the basket, burning precious time. No urgency. No awareness. No cover. Heartbreak number 1. Heartbreak number 2 came from South Dakota minus 11.5. But really, the moment South Carolina State crawled off the ban list, this game had warning signs. South Dakota led by 9 at the half, then collapsed. 18 turnovers at home to South Carolina State, 18. They shot fine overall, but 64% from the line and 0 defensive adjustments left them clinging to life in an 82-81 escape. The only people who truly lost. Anyone holding the minus 11.5. And then, the new ban-listed party enters the chat. Maine. And specifically, the architect of one of the most unbelievable coaching decisions in modern college basketball. Down 3. 10 seconds left. Timeout. Full court to go. Plenty of time for a real play. And the choice. Throw the ball to midcourt, where the opponent is already waiting. Turnover. Immediate foul. Game over. Coaching malpractice. I've watched a lot of basketball, this one belongs in a museum of mistakes. Maine is now a 2-week fade, minimum. West Virginia minus 6.5 wrapped up the pain. Xavier didn't just shoot well, they shot like the basket owed them money. 16 of 25 from deep, 64%. And then hilariously, 9 of 30 from 2. A perfectly reversed stat line of madness. West Virginia dominated inside but got buried by the 3-point avalanche, losing 78-68. That's a disastrous road trip. Losses to Clemson, then Xavier. Their non-conference resume is in flames, and they'd better win out if they want the committee to make eye contact in March. But that's behind us. The past is written. The future. That's where the value lives. Feast week is here, and the schedule is packed from noon to nearly 2 a.m. with the Hawaii tournament closing the night. More basketball than the human brain is built to process. And we're finding the edges, 7 plays minimum every day. Let's dive into the fire. Troy vs. Toledo opens the slate at 11 a.m. in Fort Myers. Taking Troy minus 4.5 feels right. They're battle-tested. San Diego State, USC, both overtime games, 1 win, 1 heartbreak. The travel is long, sure, but this team is bonded. Toledo. This is one of the weakest rosters they've had in years under Todd Kowalczyk. Young team, transfer-heavy lineup, and this is their first real road test. Toledo beat Youngstown State by 17, but that says more about Youngstown State. Troy matches physicality, coaching, experience. The pick stands, Troy minus 4.5. Next up is Tennessee minus 14 in Las Vegas, taking on Rutgers. And let's be honest, Rutgers losing at home to Central Connecticut State by 13 tells you everything you need to know. Tennessee, meanwhile, has steamrolled Mercer, NKU, North Florida, Rice, Tennessee State. They're deep, well-built through transfers, and armed with a top-5 freshman who plays like a 6'10" forward. Rutgers is young, thin on the bench, and walking into its first road game, in Vegas, during F1 weekend. It's chaos they aren't built for. Tennessee rolls. Liberty vs. Vermont brings one of the most exciting mid-major matchups of the day. And the total, 145.5, is shockingly low. Liberty hasn't scored under 88 against D1 competition and leads the nation in three-pointers made at 15 per game. Vermont can't defend, they're ranked 226th defensively and can't rebound. Neither team turns the ball over. More shots, more points, more pace. This should be a shootout in the high 70s at worst. Over 145.5 feels like a gift that Vegas forgot to wrap. Baylor minus 3.5 over Creighton comes next. Both teams are rebuilt through the portal, but Baylor handles this lifestyle yearly. Creighton, traditionally a grow-your-own program, suddenly went transfer-heavy, with pieces coming from Iowa, Howard, and Charlotte. This isn't the same machine we've seen in past seasons. Baylor has already knocked off a power conference opponent and has the more reliable identity. Even on a neutral floor, their edge feels clear. Ohio plus 6.5 vs George Mason is pure value, if Jalen Breath suits up. He missed the last game, but all signs suggest he's ready. Ohio's record is misleading because two of their losses were by games at Louisville and St. Mary's. When playing comparable competition, they're competing in one-possession games. With Pavlevsky, arguably the best PG in the MAC, and a frontline that gets significantly stronger if Breath plays, Ohio is live to win outright. George Mason is 5-0, but they haven't played anyone. Their first true test comes here, and it's dangerous. Elon plus 4.5 at App State might be the sneakiest dog on the board. Elon shoots well, 47% from the field, 39% from deep, and is loaded with transfers. They're older, smarter, more disciplined. App State has padded its record with weak opponents, lacks size at the 4 and 5, and relies heavily on underclassmen off the bench. If foul trouble hits, they're cooked. Elon feels like a live dog with real teeth. And the over 143.5 matches both teams' pace, efficiency, and defensive flaws. This game screams points. Finally, James Madison plus 2.5 at FIU. Strange three-team mini-event, strange scheduling, strange choices by FIU to host two teams better than them. James Madison is 3-3 but improving with every game. They've invested heavily in transfers and have the deeper, more talented roster. FIU has only played Division IIs and Power 4 teams, no real comparable opponents. Their bench is young, their identity is unclear, and laying points with them is a risk with no reward. James Madison takes the value. As for the almost bets, Princeton plus 6.5 at Bradley looked tempting, but the Ivy League curse remains undefeated. USC vs Boise State at plus 5.5 feels like a trap set by Vegas. And St. John's plus 115 on the money line. Tempting. Rick Pitino always makes noise in the non-conference. Iowa State historically slips in these spots. Keep an eye there. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more long-form, high-detail college basketball predictions every single day during Feast Week and beyond, make sure you hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and tap the bell so you never miss a pick. This is Beyond the Box Score, where the analysis goes deeper, the storytelling hits harder, and the angles always find their way to the surface. I'll see you in the next one.